afternoon. Welcome to today's live yoga class. We are not going to get started for probably 2 minutes. So if you are joining me live, you can just get yourself set up and get ready. If you're watching the replay, you can probably fast forward a minute and a half, 2 minutes, and then you'll be ready to join right in with the class. In the meantime, I'm just going to quickly hop over to Facebook and share this feed so people can find us. So I hope you're having a good Friday. I have a feeling that I have worn this outfit a couple Fridays already, so now I'm feeling a little like I need to change up my wardrobe a bit. So once again, I am just taking a minute here to share our feed in a couple other places, but if you're saying hello and I don't comment back, it's because I can't always see comments until after the live. Facebook's a little bit weird that way. So if I don't say hi, I will say hi afterwards. Chair yoga post. And we're going to be starting off seated. So I am going to go head over to my chair. I am going to get my music started. You, of course, don't need to use any music at all, but I did share a Spotify playlist there if you want to have a little something. And I am wearing a sweater because I was a little bit chilly, but we'll see if I keep that or if I ditch it partway through. So again, we are going to get started here in just a second. Hi, Jill. Jill, this is my third class today, and Jill has been to all of them. So we're going to be using a chair and a yoga mat. If you don't have a yoga mat, a chair will suffice. We are going to be starting off seated. We're going to stand for a little bit using the chair for support if needed, and then we're going to finish off seated with the option to come down to the floor for final relaxation. So we're going to head over to our chairs to start. Got my notes here just so to frame so I can remember my plan. So we're just going to sit nice and tall, rolling our shoulders, letting our hands rest in our laps or extend out at the side if that's comfortable for you. Let's close our eyes and just spend this first moment or two focusing on our breath. Relaxing our jaw, eyelids, tongue, cheeks. And just noticing our inhale and our exhale. Sitting nice and tall away from the back of your chair. Just letting your shoulders soften. And if your chair is too tall or your legs are too short and your feet don't comfortably sit on the floor, I would suggest getting a book or something that you can put on the floor under your feet, a yoga block, anything like that, just so that your feet aren't going to be dangling throughout the class here. You want to be able to have good support under your feet. Let's open our eyes, and we're just going to start by lowering one ear towards the shoulder, gently lifting and to the other side. Just taking your time, little head tilt, beginning to wake up that neck. And then we're going to lower our chin towards our chest, lift back up, lowering again, and lift one more time. Coming back to neutral, we're going to turn our chin to look over our shoulder. Turning back to front, look the other way. When we come back to center, this time we're going to bring up our hand, going to use just one finger and just touching the side of our chin and looking over. For some reason, we always look a whole lot further, even with just that one finger. Switch sides. You don't even really have to push. It's just having it there allows us to turn our chin further than we might otherwise. If you want to test that, just turn, then lift your hand up and put your thumb or your finger on your chin and notice if you are able to turn a little bit further. Back to the front, and then let's lower the ear, or that's an ear. Lower the ear, come down towards your chest, up to the other ear, just a nice little semicircle. And then gently bring your head up. Let's do a couple shoulder rolls. Hold a lot of tension through our shoulders. It's nice to take a little bit of extra time and care to loosen things up a little bit. And let's inhale, reaching up. Exhale, coming down, opposite arm. Inhale, reaching up. Exhale, lowering down, and just gently flowing side to side. Little lateral flexion. And this next time we're going to lift up and we're going to hold into our lateral flexion, getting a nice stretch through our side body. And then switching sides. One more time, either direction. Coming back up, let's roll our shoulders, palms facing forward, taking a moment to focus in on our breath again. I see we have a couple comments come in, and now I'm paranoid, and I'm going to go see what they say just in case there's any problems. Hi, Diane. Hi, Shirley. Just wanted to make sure nobody was saying that they couldn't hear me or anything. All right, we're going to come forward towards the edge of our chair. I'm still firmly sitting on my chair, but I have some room behind me. I'm going to reach back, grabbing on to the back of my chair. If your chair doesn't have a back, you're just going to continue to reach out through your fingertips as we open up through our chest. If you do have a back on your chair, you can sort of lean forward a little bit, getting a little chest opener. Coming back up. Making two fists, putting them at the top of your glutes. Inhale, and as we exhale, we're going to lean back ever so slightly, looking up towards the ceiling. Should be able to swallow comfortably. If not, we need to tuck our chin in towards our chest. Going to inhale, and as we exhale, we're going to come forward, reaching our arms out behind. So if I turn to the side so you can see a little bit better, like this. This is our seated airplane. Then we'll inhale back up, nice and tall, into mountain as I ditch my sweater. So lateral or chest expansion, reaching back or grabbing on to our chair, leaning forward. Coming back up, making those fists, putting them at the top of our glutes, rolling our shoulders as we open up into our little seated back bend. Inhale, and as we exhale, we're going to release. We're going to come forward, reaching our arms forward, looking down towards the floor. And then finally, we're going to relax our arms, our head. Maybe bring your arms to the inside or the outside, whichever feels more comfortable for you. Let your head hang heavy. It's not going to fall off. And we're going to go through that one more time. So inhale to prepare, exhale coming all the way up. Reaching back, reaching energetically through the fingers or grabbing the back of your chair. Leaning forward, opening through our chest. Release, make those two fists, the back of your hips, top of your glutes. Roll your shoulders, leaning back, looking slightly up. Then as we release, we're coming forward, extending through our fingertips, palms facing the ceiling as we look down, squeezing between our shoulder blades. Inhale, and as we exhale, relaxing down into seated forward fold. Inhale to prepare, and as we exhale, coming back up nice and tall, still to the front part of our chair. We're going to open up our legs a little bit wider. We're going to bring our arms up. We're going to inhale, and as we exhale, we're going to bend our elbows in towards our sides. Inhale and exhale. This is our seated moonflower. So take this at a pace that feels good for you. If you're feeling pretty cold, you can move through this a little bit faster. It's to help generate heat. If you're feeling reasonably warm, you can go a little bit slower. If you're already overheating, go nice and slow. Then from our moonflower, we're going to turn these into sunflowers. So we're going to reach our arms up. We're going to sweep around. Notice I'm keeping my chest lifted. My head stays above my heart. And then we're going to meet in sun pose. So we're going to reach our arms out, palms up, shoulders relaxed. Pretend that you can feel the sun beating on your chest. And then gently relax. Bring your legs in. Let's sit back in our chair. Still sitting nice and tall. Roll the shoulders. Inhale, reach our arms up. Exhale, hands come down to heart center. We're going to press our thumbs into our sternum, closing our eyes or softening our gaze. So we take a moment to check in again with our breath, our inhale, our exhale. And as we open our eyes, we use our hands to help us if we need to. We're going to come into a standing position. We want to keep our chair still nearby in case we need it. So you can stand behind your chair or beside it. I am going to bring mine just in front of me here. And we're going to do a lateral flexion like we did seated but standing. So if you don't need the chair at all, you can bring one hand to your hip. Inhale. As you exhale, reaching up and slightly over. If that's going to make you feel a little unsteady, just hold on to the back of your chair. Relax your shoulders. Slowly come up and we switch sides. Reaching up and out of your rib cage and then into that lateral flexion, softening your shoulder. And back up. One more time either side. Inhale, reaching up and out of your rib cage. Then leaning over. Slowly back up. Last one. Inhale, lifting up and then over. Coming back up nice and tall. I'm now going to come stand beside my chair. We're going to come into a series of chair and airplane poses. So if you need the chair, it's right here for support. We're going to inhale, and as we exhale, we're going to sink back our hips. Weight is in our heel to midfoot. We're going to come back up tall. If I turn to the side, pretend that I'm holding onto my chair. I'm sitting back and standing up. How low you go is up to you. Maybe you only want to lower an inch or two. That's perfectly fine. Lower and lift. Opposite arm is just reaching slightly ahead. Just making sure we're warming up through the whole body here. Now we're warming up through our legs, our hips, our glutes. One more time. And I'm going to turn, just because I'm in a restricted spatial area here, I'm just going to turn this way so that you can see a little bit better. We're going to inhale, and as we exhale, we're going to come into our airplane, but I'm still holding on to my chair with the one arm. So I inhale, exhale, hinge at the hip, reaching back with just one arm, inhaling up, exhaling, reaching forward. If you don't need to hold on to your chair, you can use both arms, reaching through those fingertips, lifting up, and coming forward. One last time. This time we're going to hold our airplane for a couple breaths. So reaching through those fingertips, maybe holding onto the chair if you need to, a little bend in your knee, looking down towards the floor, squeezing between your shoulder blades. One more nice deep breath in and out. Coming up and sinking back into chair and lift. We sink back and lift. Feet are hip width apart. And this time we're going to hold our chair pose for a couple breaths. Abs engaged. Keep your chest lifted. Slowly come up. We're going to make sure that we're standing behind our chair. We're going to go into our version of down dog today, which is hands on the chair, stepping back into an L stretch. Little bend in the knee. I'm going to show you another variation for a supported down dog in a few minutes, but this is the version we're going to do right now. Very slowly take your time to step in. And we're going to come into a warrior series. So it's going to be up to you whether you want to keep your chair back to, or if you want to turn it side to. I'm going to turn it side to because some poses I'm going to keep my hand on the back of my chair. Some I'm going to have my hands on the seat of the chair. And this way I won't have to move it around so much. But whatever you want to do is completely up to you. We're going to step back with one foot. Foot is at about 45-degree angle. We're going to square our shoulders to the front of our mat, bending through our front knee into warrior one. So extending one arm or holding at center. Opposite hand is on our chair or together. So if you don't feel you need the support, you can go into a regular warrior one. If you feel a little bit more comfortable with your hand on the chair, you can put the other hand on your hip wherever you like. You can also use the wall instead of a chair. Here we're going to inhale, straighten that front leg. Exhale, rebend. See, it's just a teeny tiny bend and straighten. Ears staying over shoulders, shoulders staying over hips. So I'm not leaning forward through here. Staying up nice and tall. One more time. This time we're going to hold that bend. This back foot, you're going to open up at the hip. So one foot is pointing towards the side wall. Opposite foot is pointing towards the opposite. So your legs, your feet are 90 degrees. I didn't word that very well. Anyway, hand on the chair, opposite arm extends, or if you're feeling okay, you can extend both arms. I'm going to just show the option with that, and I'm going to bring my other hand on my hip. Inhale, straighten. Exhale, lower again. Torso is staying pretty steady. I'm not leaning forward and back. And how big you make this bend, completely up to you. And then we're going to hold. Bringing our hand down to our chair, we're going to pivot that back foot. So we're lifting the heel up. You may need to move your chair forward a little bit. Here you're going to want to probably put your hand on the chair seat. I have my other hand on the back of the chair and I've lifted the back foot. Bend in the knee. If that's a little bit too much for you, you can keep your foot on the floor. And then we'll bring the foot down. And now I'm going to show you that other version of down dog. So both my hands are on the chair seat and I'm stepping back. So I'm more of a down dog. If you prefer, though, you can stay in that opposite version of down dog, which is our L stretch. So we have this option, or with our hands on the seat. Whichever version you're choosing, you're going to step one foot forward. We're going to find our way into pyramid. So if your hands are on the back of the chair, it's going to look more like this. If your hands are on the seat of the chair, it's going to look more like this. So my feet are still hip width apart. My toes are pointing forward. Both knees have a slight bend in the knee, but I'm feeling a good stretch along the back of this front leg. And then we're going to rebend that front knee. We're going to step that back foot back. We're going to reach the arm up, and my chair is a little further away. Then we're going to straighten that front leg again into pyramid with my hand on the chair, seat, or chair back. Really, I could come a little bit closer. So the one thing with chair yoga, especially when we're doing standing poses that are using the support of the chair, you'll find that you have to move your chair around a little bit in between poses to find the right position for you. That's okay. It's your prop. You're allowed to move it around. So we should be feeling a nice stretch right through here. And then we're going to bring our hands down, stepping back into down dog with our hands on the chair seat or the chair back. Taking a couple breaths, making sure you still have a bend in your knee. And then you're going to step the opposite foot forward. We're going to come into a warrior one position on the opposite leg. So I'm going to turn myself around so I don't have to turn my back on you. If you want to turn around so we can help you keep track, that's cool too. So hand is on chair, back foot's at about 45 degrees, turning my shoulders to the square with the front of my mat, bending through the knee, opposite arm can reach or come together. You can bring both arms up if you don't need that support. And we're going to inhale, straighten, exhale, lower. Remembering to breathe. One more time. And then that back foot, we're going to open up at the hip. So one foot is pointing toward the side, one foot is pointing towards the front of the room. We're opening through our chest, extending or staying grounded. I'm going to bring my hand down to my hip because I have my other hand on the chair and that feels more natural for me. So you just find the position that works best for you. We're going to inhale, straighten, exhale, bend. Remember, this can be a teeny tiny bend. Doesn't have to be anything big. Just want to get a little bit of movement there. You're doing great. And then we're going to hold into our warrior two for a couple breaths. If you did lift your hands, go ahead and bring one hand back down to your chair. We're going to pivot that back foot, lifting the heel, bringing our hands down to the seat of our chair, and we're going to walk in so that we're just onto the toes of that back foot, or lifting the foot completely up into our standing balance. Head is staying above your heart. Just don't let your head come down. It should be the highest part of your body. Then we're going to step the foot down, and we're going to come into down dog, either with our hands on the chair, seat, or the chair back. Keeping a bend in your knees. Coming into pyramid, so stepping that foot forward, hands on our seat or chair back. Feet are hip width apart, all 10 toes are pointing forward. Little bend in your knee, but it's a micro bend, really pressing into your big toe. And you should feel a stretch all along the back of that front leg. Then rebending that front knee, you're going to step the opposite foot back, pivoting, so again that's facing the front of the room, opposite foot is facing the side of the room. We're going to move our chair as needed, straightening through that front leg, bringing your hand onto the chair seat or chair back for triangle. If you don't feel like reaching your arm up, you can just let it rest along your side. And this is where we should be feeling our stretch here on this pose. Couple more breaths. And then we'll rebend that front knee, pivot on that back foot, stepping back into down dog with our hands on the seat or the back of the chair. And very slowly walking our way back towards the chair. Coming up to standing. Nice deep breath in. Exhaling down. Again, breathing in. And exhale. One more time. This time as we exhale, we're going to roll our shoulders, turn our palms forward, make sure we're standing hip width apart, closing our eyes or looking down towards the floor. So we took a moment to center ourselves before we come into our tree pose today. Noticing your inhale, your exhale. Relaxing your jaw, your tongue. We'll relax our hands, opening our eyes, making sure that we're close enough that we can easily hold on to our chair. So for our tree pose, first option is to just take your feet at a 90-degree angle, not lifting anything at all. If you're feeling pretty good there and you want to go a little bit further, you can lift, that's a little bit too close. You can lift your heel onto your ankle so my toes are still on the floor. That's option 2. Option 3 is lifting right up onto our calf muscle, and then we can reach the opposite arm out. Maybe you're feeling pretty good and you can go down to just holding onto the chair with a one finger just to help keep you anchored in space. If you're feeling really good and you want to extend both arms, please feel free. Relax your shoulders and think about opening through your hip. That standing leg still has a slight bend in the knee. Breathing in and out. Slowly lower your arm, slowly lower your foot, give your feet a little shake. And let's stroll to the other side of your chair. We're going to do the opposite side. So same thing, we're going to start by bringing our feet to a 90-degree angle, option 1. Option 2 is lifting just up onto your ankle with your toes still on the floor. Option 3 is coming up onto your shin, but below the knee. I'm not putting any pressure on my knee joint. Arm extends. Maybe you want to extend both arms, or maybe you want to hold on. Maybe you just want to have a fingertip. Again, thinking about opening through the hip and breathing. Relax your shoulders. Couple more breaths. And slowly lower your arm, slowly lower your legs. Give it a little shake if you need, and then we're going to sit back in our chair. Finding our way back to mountain, so rolling our shoulders. Hands can rest on our palms or extend. Closing our eyes. Taking a moment to notice how we're feeling here in this moment. As we open our eyes, we're going to come forward towards the edge of our seat again, coming into a seated cat and cow. So I'm going to turn my hands so my fingertips are facing towards one another. I'm going to press down, and I'm going to round up. Pressing down, rounding up. One more time. As we come up nice and tall, we're going to inhale, and as we exhale, reaching up and over, holding again into that lateral stretch. Now that we've warmed up a little bit more, maybe we can get a little bit better release than we could during our warm-up. Do the other side. And one more time, either direction. This is a very gentle lateral flexion. We're not trying to do anything extreme, just up and ever so slightly over is all we need to do to get that nice opening. Let's come back up nice and tall. We're going to come into our seated pigeon pose. So we're going to start by extending one leg. Take the opposite foot, cross the ankle over the shin. This might be your seated pigeon. If, without using your hands, you can lift your leg and bring it above your knee, you can do that. And if, again, without using your hands, you can bend the knee to come into a seated figure 4, seated pigeon, you can. But the key is I don't want you having to do this to come deeper into the pose. If you're going to have to use your hands, just stay out here. The reason for that is I don't want you to pull anything in your knee. Keep your foot flexed. It's going to activate all the muscles of the lower leg, and that's also going to protect the knee. We're going to hang out here for about a minute. So if you want, you can move a little bit side to side. See if that feels good. Maybe moving a little bit forward and back, or maybe even doing a little bit of a seated circle with your torso. Maybe that all just feels weird. Maybe you're feeling enough not doing anything at all, But if you want to go a little bit deeper, you can just bring your forearm down onto your thigh and your calf. My knee is not being touched at all, so this just adds a little bit of pressure. Relax your jaw, relax your shoulders. And we always want to be mindful of our spinal alignment, so we're not just slouching right down. We're keeping that good spinal alignment, which I know you all were anyway. I just know it. We're going to come back up. If you are into this bent knee version, you're going to extend your leg, and we're all going to bring our legs so they're crossed at the ankles and bring them in. So just crossed at the ankle. If it's okay for you to lift right up and cross the knee, you can do that, but hopefully everybody can at least cross the ankle. So whatever leg is on top, you're going to take the opposite arm and reach across into a stretch. And then you're going to reach the arms out and grab on. You're giving yourself a little hug. And this might be your pose today. Maybe you can start to bring the backs of your hands together. Maybe the palms of the hands together. But we're coming into our version of eagle. So this version of eagle is every bit as good as this version. They just look a little bit different. And then wherever you are, I want you to hug your elbows in towards your torso a little bit. And then remember which leg is on top. We're going to release the arms. We're going to bring our feet down to the floor. Hands to our thighs, fingertips facing. Cat and cow, rounding the back. And pressing down. And then coming back up, you remember which leg was on top? Because that is the leg you're going to extend this time. Cross the opposite ankle over the shin. If without using your hands, you can bring it above the knee, you can do that. And again, without using your hands, if you can bend, then go ahead. Or wherever it is, this foot should be flexed, activating those lower leg muscles, protecting the knee joint, staying nice and tall. Remember, you can sort of move around here to see. Sometimes you just can get a little bit deeper into that muscle release if you do a little bit of movement, or maybe again applying that pressure, whatever works for you. But we want to keep that chest lift as much as possible. Remember, we're not just rounding through the back. We're not using our shoulders as earrings. We're keeping lots of space between our ear and our shoulder. Remembering to breathe. We'll come up nice and tall. We're going to extend that leg, bringing the leg down, crossing at the ankle, bending our knee in, or lifting our leg up and crossing over the thigh. Whatever leg's on top, opposite arm is going to reach across into that shoulder stretch. That arm that's holding the shoulder stretch is going to reach out, and we're going to grab on, give ourselves a little hug. Maybe we're staying here. Maybe we're starting to bring the backs of the hands together. Maybe the backs of the hands completely come together, or maybe the palms of the hands come together. Just find that place for you. And remember, I have the arms of an orangutan, which is largely why I can do this, not because I am so flexible. Inhale, and as we exhale, let's bring those elbows in towards our torso. Slowly come back up. Gently release your arms. Uncross your legs. Seated cat and cow. And then let's take a nice deep breath in. Exhale, forward fold with your arms to the outside or inside of your legs, whatever is more comfortable for you. Let your head just hang. Taking a few deep breaths, and while you're doing that, I'm going to turn my chair so that I'm at a better angle for you all to see me for these next few poses. While you're down here, gently shake your head no. Gently nod your head yes. Inhale to prepare, and as you exhale, come all the way up. Hands down to heart center, rolling your shoulders, pressing your thumbs into your sternum, closing your eyes or casting your gaze downward, relaxing your jaw. So we take a moment again to check in with our breath, noticing if you can feel your heartbeat into your thumbs. One more nice deep breath in, and on the exhale, allowing your eyes to open or refocus, bringing your hands down. We're going to be doing our seated spinal balance. So I'm going to reach one arm and the opposite leg out and down, opposite arm and leg, and down. We're just going to alternate back and forth a few times. Opposite arm and leg. Inhale and exhale. Two more. Last one. And then we're going to scooch forward in our chairs so much that we can grab onto the back of the chair for a little bit of support, either the seat or the back, either one works. And we're going to inhale, exhale, roll our shoulders, engage through our core, and extend one leg. Still a bend in the knee, reaching out through the heel, holding for 4, 3, 2, 1. Bring the leg down. Inhale, exhale, extend the opposite leg for 4, 3, 2, 1. One more time either side. Extend for 4, 3, 2, 1. Bring it down. 4, 3, 2, 1. Bring the foot down. Nice deep breath in. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale to prepare as we exhale, coming back up to seated. Hands coming down to our thighs. Seated cat and cow, pressing down, rounding up. One more time. And then coming all the way up, rolling your shoulders. We're going to extend one leg, keeping a little bend in the knee. Extend the opposite arm, reaching forward until you feel a stretch along the back of the leg, and then you can relax the hand down or continue reaching forward. Now notice my back. I'm not down here. It's still up here. Good spinal alignment. Continuing to lift those toes. You can see there's a little bend in my knee, so it's not totally straight. We're going to hang out here and breathe, relaxing your shoulders, relaxing your jaw. Slowly lifting up and bringing that leg in, extending the opposite leg. Keep a bend in the knee, foot is flexed, same arm reaches forward until you feel that stretch. Then you can relax the leg, or the arm rather. And slowly come up. Just going to turn back to face you all here. Going to inhale, and as we exhale, we're going to turn to look over one shoulder. So instead of just turning at the neck like we did in the warm-up, we're now turning through the spine. Slowly back to the front. Inhale, exhale, look the other way. And for most people, you're just going to be looking towards the side wall, not the back wall. Gently back to the front. Inhale, exhale, look. And to the front. And one more time, looking the other way. Slowly back to the front. Inhale, and as we exhale, forward fold. Just giving our spine a little chance to relax after all those twists. Gently shaking your head no. Gently nodding your head yes. Inhale to prepare as you exhale, coming all the way back up. Hands coming down to heart center. All right. Let's come back to our shoulders, doing some shoulder rolls. I'm on mission, relax everybody's shoulders right now. As we reach across into that shoulder stretch. Shoulders and necks. I think they're taking a beating right now with all the hunched over work everybody, including myself, is doing. I have this paint by numbers. I'm sorry if you've heard me talk about it 100 times by now. Oh boy. Oh man. The dots are so tiny. They're so tiny. Alright, let's reach back. Tricep stretch. And slowly lower down. Opposite arm reaches across. And reaching back. Lower the arm, lower the ear towards the shoulder, maybe flexing the opposite hand. Maybe adding a hand for just a little tiny bit more pressure. You're not pulling on your head. Gently lift and to the other side, flexing the hand if you like. If you want, ever so slightly, adding a little bit more pressure. Slowly lift, chin towards the chest. Again, if you want, ever so slightly, adding the hand for resistance. And slowly lifting, one hand behind the back, other hand on the head, gently lowering your nose towards the underarm. Slowly lift, switching sides. Slowly lift, ear towards the shoulder, gently down towards the chest, and to the other shoulder, taking your time. Slowly lift, turning your head, just your head, back to the front, to the other side. Then same as we did before, this time just adding one finger, turning a little bit further, back to the front, switching hands. Slowly back to the front, nice deep breath in, exhale, forward fold, one last time. Everything relax. Really taking your time, moving inch by inch, but slowly making your way back up into a seated position. We are going to transition into our final relaxation. So we're going to be in final relaxation for about 8 minutes or so, and I want you to be comfortable. So if the chair you're sitting in is not going to be comfortable for the next 8 minutes, I want you to get up and find a place that will be. Hopefully your device can move with you if you don't have a more comfortable place right around. So you can sit on the couch, you can lay on the couch in your favorite chair, on your bed. You can stay in the chair you're in if you're comfortable there, or you can even lie out on your yoga mat or something else. Just make sure wherever you're going to be is going to be comfortable for you for about 8 minutes. So I'm going to give you a couple seconds to get yourself situated. I'm going to put my sweater back on. And then when you find your position, if you're seated, you can rest your hands on your lap. And at this point, I will let you lean against the back of your chair. If you're on your couch or your bed or laying on your mat, you can have your arms out by your side or on your abdomen if that's more comfortable for you. Closing your eyes or softening your gaze. Sorry, I hit my mic there. So we start to just let go of our practice. Not worrying about breathing a certain way, not worrying about controlling our minds, just laying or sitting and allowing ourselves to just be. Feeling the support of the chair, couch, bed, mat, floor, whatever is supporting you, but feel how it is there for you. You can relax, you can release the tension that you're holding, even unknowingly, through your arms, your legs, your torso, shoulders, jaw, eyelids. Next time you exhale, just feel yourself relaxing a little bit more deeply. Feeling your shoulders relaxing, your jaw, tongue, cheeks, your eyelids, forehead, even your chest. As you exhale, feel the tension easing out of your body. Down your arms, wrists, hands, fingers. Feeling them just melting into whatever they're resting on. See if you can relax through your eyelids even more, through your tongue even more. Feeling your hips, pelvis relax. Your legs, ankles, feet, toes. Even that little pinky toe. With each inhale, think to yourself, I'm breathing in light and love. And on each exhale, I'm letting go of tension. I'm inhaling light and love. I'm exhaling tension. I'm feeling that inner light that starts at your heart, growing brighter with each inhale. Feeling yourself growing more relaxed with each exhale. Knowing that inner light that starts at the heart, the center of love, as it grows brighter, it's not just the light, but it is also love that grows. And with every micromillimeter of tension that's released in a joint, a muscle, you're making that much more room for light. That light is continuing to fill the entire inside of your body. Then just notice in your mind's eye which area in your body still feels dark. Not judging it, just taking whatever the first body part that pops into your mind. And I want you to focus on that area and sending light to that part of your body. Until your whole person, you can see glowing from the inside, full of light and love. Let's take one more deep breath in. As we exhale, slowly starting to bring our attention back to the room. Maybe wiggling our fingers, wiggling our toes. Inhaling again, and as we exhale, opening our eyes. And if we were in a lying position, taking a couple breaths, but making your way up into a seated position. Or just listening to my words and continuing to chill out. Let's take a nice deep breath in. Exhaling. Again, inhale. And exhale. One more time. The light that fills me honors and respects the light that fills you. And together we seal our practice with Namaste. We are finished for today. I hope that you had a lovely practice, that you enjoyed our chair yoga class today. Oh, focus. There we go. We'll be back next Friday with another class. Not sure what kind it will be yet. I will decide that early next week, but I will make the announcement here in the event page for anyone who wants to know what's coming up. I hope you have a wonderful weekend, and I hope you go through the rest of your day feeling a little bit more relaxed and a little bit rejuvenated and full of light and love. Have a wonderful weekend, everybody. I'll see you next week. Bye.